When I want to get my RC on, I go to Crawler Ted's garage.
Okay, so I just powered up the system here. I've got it all plugged in. Everything's plugged into the receiver and radio. I got it turned on. Make sure that my servo is centered, right? And so now I can go ahead and turn it off and mount the horn. Make sure I get it as close to center as possible, right? I haven't checked the linkage on here either. The front short link that attaches to the servo, to see if my length is correct yet or not. Boy, that looks pretty darn close. Nice. Alright. I'm going to use a bolt and nut on this, just because it's such a thin horn, you know. Make sure that I don't let this too long. Oh yeah, I almost forgot before I mount it on there. So these are the horns that come with the high-tech servos, like I was saying. Those little blue, light duty, but they're aluminum and they work pretty good. But they have all little holes in them, you see, for, I don't know, I guess aircraft linkages or something. But so I'm just going to take and drill it out to accept my 3mm screw and go ahead and mount it on there. Alright, she melted down. Hey, I took it outside. See, that was right there, right then and now. I took that outside and did that on the trail field repair, servo repair. So if you caught that, I think I'm going to do that as a separate little video. So it was funny. Anyway, I made a mess on my bench now as it's melting down. But the servo is all attached. Everything's hooked up. Linkage is hooked up. We're all good. Might need to just hit the trim on the radio a tiny bit, but she's good to go. So, you know, it has this radio box, receiver box cover, right? So, you know, the more I've been thinking about it, I've decided that I don't want it at all, and I just threw it away. So that's where I'm at with that. My bad. Okay, so like I say, it's got the receiver box cover here. It's not waterproof, but it does sit on there pretty good. Little hole here for the wires to go in, right? A little notch. So my ESC is waterproof. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the ESC on this shelf that's underneath the lid, and I'm going to drop my receiver into the box, and I'm going to silicone the lid. I'm going to take and silicone that lid on the seam of it around the like where the lid joins the box, and then the hole where the wires go in. I'm going to silicone that as well, and I think I'm going to go with that and call it good. There's not a lot of room underneath this lid to run the waterproof box like I've done before, you know, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. The ESC, I was telling you about the ESC, I didn't get there, did I? Okay, so let me get everything unplugged here. Unplug the battery. What was I going to tell you? Okay, the ESC. I have done this method before, and I'm sure it's a good method. The results, it worked while I had it, but I lost that truck in the river is probably what happened. I'm pretty sure that's why I don't have that one, and I'm not sure what happened as far as results go. So instead of plasti dipping this, what I did was unboxed it, uncased it, okay, decased it completely, and then I mixed up a batch of epoxy, 2-part epoxy, similar to what I used to fix, same as what I used to fix my boat and such, and then I filled the tray, so the bottom part of the box, I filled it with the epoxy, you know, while it was warm. I had it nice and warm, so it's liquid, flowing well. Filled the bottom of it, set the ESC back in there. Then I took the excess that I had in my mixing cup and poured it around the edges to make sure it was nice and full, and everything was covered and protected. So that's my waterproofing method on this one. I'm going to try it, see what happens. I was able to, lots of people are worried all the time about whether or not they should waterproof the fins, whether they should cover up the fins. So you can see here, you see what I've done? I don't know if you can see where my epoxy starts. The light isn't great right there, is it? Okay, so you see how I've brought the epoxy around the heat sink without actually completely flooding or covering it, so all four edges are covered very well. It's hard to see in there, eh? But so then I just took and snapped the top of the cover back on. See what happens. Yeah, see, it looks like it was in one of my boats or something. A little bit of crud on there. I just popped it out of the case because it looks a little ugly, a little bit dirty. I used some of this here. It's Electrosolve contact cleaner for electronics, non-conductive, eh? And in a video I'm going to put up of my Berg, my comp crawler. We run dual FXRs. They're uncased. My receiver, blah blah blah. They were covered in dirt and crap and crud, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. I decided to go ahead and spray them with this, and I sprayed them off really good. Man, they look like brand new now, nice and clean, and it evaporates quick, no residue, so it shouldn't hurt it. Seems to be working alright. So I'm going to do this too, just because it looks kind of dirty as well. It's got a good stream, eh? And like I say, boom, it evaporates super fast. So it was, I got it across the street from the hobby store because I was looking for motor cleaner actually, and they didn't have any, so I ended up with this stuff. So I've used it for a couple different things, but maybe there's another product that works the same way that's cheap. This stuff wasn't cheap. 15 bucks a can or some crazy thing. Electronics store though, right? Okay, I'm gonna put it back in the case. I'm not gonna decase it because I am putting it into a receiver box, right? If I was going to plasti dip it or something, I would probably decase it. But I just want to put a little piece of tape on the bottom of it. Come on. Uncooperative, eh? Okay. Alright. So first of all here I'm going to do my receiver wire, or antenna wire, I mean, sorry. Get it out of the way. There we go. Okay. Okay, I just noticed, I didn't notice before, it does have a little hole in it for the antenna wire. So you know what, I am going to run it through there. I'll silicone that, because what I'm going to do is just run a tube underneath there, bent over, that this can just kind of run through. I don't intend to submerge this one. You know how it is, I'm going to submerge it. Who are you kidding, right? So perhaps this will give me some better signal underwater. I'm certainly not going to run an antenna up through the body, but I'll keep it underneath the body, you know what I mean, in whatever fashion I need to. So I am going to run that through there. Okay, so let's get the servo lead up there. Now, if I didn't talk so much and just get going here, maybe these videos wouldn't be quite so long, eh? I'm glad that to everybody that's watching them and stuff like that, I thank you very much for sticking with me through some of these long builds. long videos. Okay, so that's where I'm going to go with that. Make sure the wire is free of anything. Chassis kind of bugs me there. I'm almost tempted just to go across over top of the ESC, which I'm going to set here, eh? And I had this already set up. Yeah, this way. See, I added long wire on one side and short one on the other side so that the plug evens out and the wires are cool. Because I'll probably drop them down, something like that. Okay, so let's mount this that way. This thing is totally hitting the trail. Well, the trail here, the local trail around my house tonight for sure, man. I'm going to be ready to go in no time. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Let's take this inside, obviously. So channel 1 for the servo. We got channel 2 for the ESC. I'm trying to get these wires controlled here. So I want to bring the servo wire across and straight in because I don't want it to get caught on that chassis rail or anything. Okay, so we'll tuck all those in nicely. I'm going to keep part of that out there. Drop it into the fins. Boom, boom. Okay, there we go. I don't have... I'm not going to silicone this yet because I don't have any lights, any wiring for lights or anything yet. I want to get, generally what I would do here is run servo extension leads out of the box, then silicone it all in, and then you just plug into the leads. That way if you ever have a problem with your servo or with your ESC or your lighting plugs, you unplug it outside of the waterproof receiver box. You know what I'm saying? This guy will be completely waterproof and I'll have all the leads coming out and just unplug my receiver or my servo if it goes bad, if I can change it out for a new one, you know. So it's a great way to go. I do that on all of them. The last one I did the receiver for the Chevy. I just have the receiver plasti dipped, but I bought 4 3-inch extensions, servo extensions, okay? Servo lead extensions, and plugged them all in and then plasti dipped the whole thing and just numbered them 1, 2, and then the other 2 are accessories, right? So, but anyway, so for now, this guy is just simply going to be closed up the way it is, not waterproofed. Okay. Takes a couple little screws in there. But yeah, it's a good box, good tight box. I think that a little bit of silicone around there and I'll be able to seal it up without an issue, eh? A little stubby there. Take this one back out. This one here is really tiny. Maybe it has a home somewhere else. I don't think so, but put into the match, you know what I mean? So, okay, excellent. Switch, I should have stuck down while I was under there as well. I will probably just zip tie it along with my battery lead or something, just keep it in an accessible spot. So, you find, what they gave me an antenna too. No, I did not. Okay.